Okay, so I've got the salt shooter device installed on this Crosman 760 pump, and I decided to go with the horizontal magazine feed instead of a vertical. But so I've got the adapter block attached to the barrel, and the aluminum barrel is attached to the front, and then the other piece is this the magazine here, which slides through, and there's a supposed to be a indent, spring-loaded indent in here, but it didn't print out very well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and test without it. I'll just have to slide these myself. But the thing I need to do right now is load this magazine with salt. And what I'm gonna do, I've got a couple of other ideas about loading the magazine and not having to glue them, but for now I'm just gonna be, I've got 10 positions here. I'm gonna put some different kinds of salt in here and see if I can see any difference in the salt. They're all gonna have the same 10 millimeter thick magazine, but I'll just have different salt. And for now I'm just gonna glue some tissue paper to the front and fill it with salt, and then attach some tissue paper at the rear. And I'm also thinking about down the road having the tissue paper so it's captive inside the magazine without having to glue it. So the magazine would have 3 parts to it: the centerpiece and an outer piece on each side, that when you would put it together, it would capture the tissue paper and not require you to glue it. But for now I'm going to just glue it. Right now I'm just working on figuring out what's a good load, you know, how much salt do I really want to do. So I've got a little piece of tissue paper here, and I'm just going to use some glue here. I've got a few things here I could use. One is a glue stick, and I don't know about, and the other one is a craft gel glue. I don't really care about, I'm only going to use this once probably, because I'm going to quickly design something else. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue down here. And of course I'm going to have to let that dry. I would use Elmer's glue, I just don't happen to have any. And I don't normally use this glue, so I don't know how long it'll take to dry. So I just want a light film. And I guess I would prefer it not to be inside those holes. So I'm going to use a pencil to clear it. Conveniently, it's pretty much the diameter of this pencil. If I continue to have to do this, I'll probably get a paintbrush or something and dilute the glue. So there I've got a fine coating. I'm just going to slap it on here. And let's see, how long does this stuff take to dry? It says it could be cleaned up with soap and water. It doesn't really say how long it takes to dry. So my idea is to use different kinds of salts. I've got 3 or 4 different kinds of salts. So I can put maybe 3 of one, then 3 of another, and then get some kind of baseline idea going there. That looks pretty good. I mean, this looks like it's sealed well. And I can go ahead and trim that with a razor. If I had one. Got one right here. And that looks like it might work. I'm going to trim it off the edge a little. So it'll feed in my magazine better. So I've got that side sealed. I'm going to let it fully dry, because the last thing I want to do is have salt stuck inside of it. It looks like it's drying very quickly. So the next thing, I'll fill some salt and then just do it again. I guess I could go ahead and do that now. So I've got 3 salts here that I purchased. I bought these 3 because I've never seen or used any of these before, so I'm not familiar with them. I am familiar with the normal table salt, so I wanted to try something else. So I'm going to use 3 of these in each, and in this 10-shot magazine. And of course, the first cylinder is open. So I'm going to start with this one here, Callus Classic. I got these at a Greek grocery store. They have things in there that I don't normally see. So the salt is very coarse. That's good. That's kind of what I was looking for. I don't know if you can tell, but it's more coarse than table salt. So I'm going to put load 3 of these little cylinders. There we go. Got those in. I'm going to see if I can dump the rest of that. Well, here we go. Kind of fiddly with this stuff. This is just for testing, you know. I'm later going to hopefully figure out a better way. So that's the first 3 have that, or the last 3 anyway. And the next one I'm going to look at is this sea salt. I think I got this at the Wegmans. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that came from. I just know I've never used it before, so. Let's see what this. It also seems very similar to the other one. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the same, just repackaged. I'll have to get a microscope. I can compare these and really begin to tell. That one was a little suspect. The seal had been broken, so someone had tampered with that, it looks like. I just got it at the grocery store. Luckily, I'm not going to be eating it, so I don't really care. Then the final one here is this kosher salt. It says it's coarse. Yeah, sure enough is. It's the coarsest of the three that I've tried. Which might translate into a better, longer range shot. This is definitely different. I'm beginning to wonder if this magazine's holding enough salt, but I guess I'll find out. I can always make it larger. But I can say right now, just an initial impression that the kosher salt is definitely different than the other two. The other two, to me, seem to be the same. But these are definitely huge chunks. Okay, so now I'm going to seal that up. And I'm going to have to change my strategy a little bit. I'm going to use the glue on a brush because I don't want to get it onto salt. So I'm going to put a little bit of this glue in this disposable cup that will come out. So I'm going to try to be a little more careful with applying this. So while I'm doing this, I'm having a few ideas about how to capture the salt or expose the salt to the blast of air just at the right time. That to me seems like the best approach. If you can have the salt in some sort of bin or something and have it dispensed and ready, some kind of automated thing where when you pull the trigger, it throws the salt into the path of the air. That to me seems simplest to use without all this prep. This is kind of like reloading. Only not as fun. Okay, so I got the glue on there. Going to set a piece of tissue paper over it. Now, I don't even know if I'm guessing that the air will puncture this paper. I don't even really know that. But it looks like I've got a good seal here. and made a bit of a mess, but not too bad. So I've got 9 shots here loaded up. I'm going to let that fully dry because I don't want to try to insert it into the magazine, only to have it stick. So I want this thing to be fully dry and stable. So we'll do some testing in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. So these are some of the 3D printed parts of the salt shooter. Printing it in different orientations and angles. And this is what it looks like when they come out. And they normally require a little bit of cleanup. You have to break the pieces out of the part like that. And then this one's fairly clear in the middle here. It depends on the orientation that you print it. But you can see the square pieces are not clear, and those need to be cleared up. And the magazines, of course, they sometimes get a warp on them depending on the heat. This one probably also slightly warped. And then here's the indent follower. The scale is not quite right. It's a little too tight to work in here. So I need to adjust the scales of the parts. There's quite a bit of variance in the actual dimensions of the part versus the design, and it's generally because of the orientation of the print. These holes are probably very close to being accurate since they're printed in vertical, but the holes in the horizontal, like this one here, would be a problem. They're cleared to clear out. So what I think I'm going to do is slice this in half in my design and print it in 2 pieces so it can come together. That way there won't be any fill parts inside of the openings that I'll have to clear out. Because when there is that, it's a lot of extra work. And but for now, I'm just going to test with the one I have here, this magazine, and then they'll know. I might decide to change the design and go a totally different way. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video.